Rallied Cincinnati back to take a 1-point lead to only watch their defense just completely collapse.
Finish the game, like just end it. Like that's it. Like that's what we need to do. Just end the game. Like make them get us the ball back. Let us 22 victory and let's end the game. That's how I feel.
I'm gonna stay in my lane. I don't want no defensive player come and chew me out about what I'm doing.
Starting to spill over. That's right, let them know. Look at the Chicago Bears fan in the building. I love to see it. Chicago born and raised, but I think this is probably more of a problem for Cincinnati than it is for Chicago at this point, Swagoo, because you got players now calling out other players in the locker room. Did you have a problem with what Lamar Chase and Chase Brown said?
It's the Cardinal sin. Even though I know the emotion is running high after the game, it's the Cardinal sin. So you don't really want to go to that point because there will come a time where it'll be on them. Definitely. And I think a lot of times, though, you caught up in the emotion right after the game. You just went down for a drive to win the game, and you give up that interception. Who I would have been calling out, Cam, is the damn defensive coordinator.
Hello?
Because I don't understand. One, you playing man-to-man with 17 seconds left.
But that was tempered. That was tempered. That was
oh, it was tempered. Okay.
But the linebacker did not.
A field goal don't win the game.
Now this is what the people
make that tackle. They may not even get a chance to make that. You're trying to make a big hit right there.
Get him on the ground.
Instead of wrapping up and taking all day getting off.
Have no timeouts.
Right, I know. That's what I'm saying. Right. So tackle him, spend time on top of him to make sure, to make sure that clock.
Where he stayed? He's in Miami, chick. The person who's in Miami speaks about Mike McDaniel not having control of that locker room. So Stephen A., I'll ask the question: does Zach Taylor require a little something from you? Do you have something to say about him losing that locker room?
Well, my response to you is that I'm very, very disappointed that you asked me that question because it shows that you're not watching every episode of First Take.
No.
Because let me tell you something. Because if you are, you have heard me say Zach Taylor. This man is he on a hot seat. He'd be lucky if he make it through the season. I held him responsible for Joe Burrow now missing 3 of his 6 seasons in the NFL. Constantly having him in the shotgun offense, never having him behind center, never having him in a position where he can engage in play action, exposing him the way that he did. And I said, by the way, you're supposed to be the head man. That means you got something to do with the defense. Yeah. Call a different play. Make sure you zoned up. Make sure you in prevent as opposed to a man-to-man. Make sure you understand the importance of tackling in that situation. The Chicago Bears with Caleb Williams, who I believe in, by the way, but still developing and growing. Caleb Williams said we knew we were going to have a big game today. He said that. Think about that. When you heard that name come out of his mouth, he never do that. You know what? But you know what? He saw them lose to the winless New York Jets the week earlier, giving up 39 points to the New York Jets with Justin Fields. And Caleb Williams said, I think I can do that. Against that team, I think I can do that. And that's what happened. The Cincinnati Bengals are trash defensively. Jamar Chase deserves better. T. Higgins deserves better. Joe Flacco deserves better. Okay? Because when you have a defense that's just non-existent. I know I said the Dallas Cowboys instead of the Dallas Cowboys, but the Bengals are worse. The Bengals are worse than the Cowboys, okay? At least I get an impression. You know, you might not tackle right sometimes. You might make some mistakes. You might have some confusion from time to time. But nobody is as bad as the Bengals. And by the way, here's where I got to hold Joe Burrow accountable. You wanted Higgins to get his money. You wanted Jamar Chase to get his money. But you also wanted Hendrickson to get his money. Damn it. They don't have anybody on defense that look like they deserve to get paid.
Start putting that in. First of all, let me go back here and address the statement that Chad Brown was talking about. And we get up here all the time and say, oh, this is Cardinals thing. And it is to run to the media with it, but not to run to your defense.
Oh, yeah, you can.
I want accountability.
100%.
And you got to have accountability. We had a guy named Charles Haley.
Hello.
And we would have a conversation before every game. Charles would ask me, how many points you got? I said, we got at least 24. I said, what can y'all do? He said, they won't get 17. If they're holding that out defense, they're holding that offense to 10, 12 points. And he's looking up at that scoreboard, and I promised him 24 and 14 on that board. He walks by me and says, playmaker 14 don't sound like 24. You see what I'm saying? That's accountability. And that's all Chad Brown is saying. I want accountability over here. Now, he should not just be talking talking to his teammates, he should go scream to his owner, who wouldn't pay a man that plays great defense, who wouldn't even pay the guy that they drafted that can play great defense. So they don't care about defense. So don't act like, oh, the players are the only one.
No, definitely management. Definitely management. Definitely management.
Everybody.
This is a team that has given up in the Bengals 300 points in 9 games.
Yep.
That's I mean, and then back-to-back weeks you're giving up a touchdown to a wide receiver and a running back.
Not only that.
And this is worse than last year. This is the same conversation last year.
That's what I was about to say.
The issue is not that they're having this type of play from their defense this year. They've been having this same type of issue out of their defense for the last 2 years. So
Let me ask you a question. How long before Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase won out?
they can't. They just got paid that
I
money.
know they just got paid money. How long before they won out because of the disservice that this ownership?
I'd want out now.
You've been a franchise quarterback.
I'd want out now.
Listen, it's hard for me to answer that question because I'm producing and they are producing. And not per se Joe Burrow more so, but when you see the game that T. Higgins had yesterday, the amount of difficulty of the catches that he made, now it says you got an issue in Dallas. I wouldn't even say an issue in Dallas when you got two #1 valuable playmakers on the outside. Right. When that happens, you have to give those guys opportunities. They've given them opportunities. Everybody's at home.
So you're spending money.
One gonna get traded.
Right, but you're spending money incorrectly. All right, you got that offense and you're not doing anything.
Tackle him. The Bears are going to have to try a long field goal to try and win it. Instead, we're hit. I don't know what in the world they're doing. It's a horrific ending for the Bengals, but we're going to dive into that. We spoke about it at great length earlier. Let's talk for a minute, because we didn't get to earlier, about the Bears side of this. Their win keeps them in the hunt for what has now become maybe the most interesting division in all of football. Cindy, let's show it. The NFC North is the only division where all 4 teams are currently 500 or better. The Packers have a half a game lead on the Lions and Bears. Minnesota just a single win behind the trio of them. So a remarkable division. The Bears, what can you say? I mean, they just kept fighting back. Caleb Williams getting better under that coach. That's a big win for the Bears.
Yeah, I mean, Caleb was incredible in this game just by sheer numbers. Like, he had over a 250 pass and he had 50 on the ground. And the man had 2 receptions and a touchdown catch. Like, he was great.
Broadcast on TV yesterday, but whoever it was made a really good point that other teams call those trick plays. Right. The Bears, Ben Johnson just calls them plays. Those are plays. All this creative stuff they do, that's just part of the package of what they do offensively. It's an important part of what they do, and they are very effective too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they always have a check out of things, but if they get the look, everything's by design. They're going to see you in this certain defense and things, and when they get that look, they know the play is going to work. That's why it's just a play. And look, the guy is amazing at dialing up explosive plays. Coordinator or whatever, you got no freaking chance.
And I make a point about the trick plays that's very quick, is that I think some people think about the trick plays as their ways to create cheap explosives. It helps.
Okay, so the Bears side of this is interesting, and that's all well and good, and they're well ahead of pace, and they may very well contend in that very good division. But that isn't the most interesting thing that came out of that game yesterday. So the Bengals have now, what is it, they gave up how many points last week? They scored 39 and lost last week, and then they scored 42 this week and lost. And that hasn't happened, as Shefty said, since 1966. And afterwards, in the locker room, the dam broke. Listen to Chase Brown.